This also makes me nervous. The studio is reportedly not happy with the first trailer of Superman. An editor was told, make it better. It's probably no exaggeration to say that the first trailer for James Gunn's Superman is up there among the most highly anticipated movie teasers of all time, and Warner Brothers is reportedly feeling the pressure, which is completely understandable. Gunn's film will not only serve as a fresh start for the legendary hero on the big screen, but will also kickstart a brand new DC cinematic universe. Studio execs will be counting on this first look to build excitement and get as many people hyped to see the Man of Steel take flight again next year, and it sounds like they are determined to make this teaser as good as it possibly can be. Again, this is hardly a surprise, and it's perfectly normal for several different versions of a teaser to be presented before a final version is chosen, but according to writer-filmmaker Dan Marcus, a fairly finalized version was shown to WB Discovery's Michael DeLuca, and the editor was told to make it better. Okay, this is a tweet from Dan Marcus. I'm really excited for the Superman trailer. From everything I've heard, there is enormous pressure internally from inside Warner Brothers for the trailer to be received very well. Apparently, the studio asked for multiple different cuts of the trailer to find the best version. To clarify, since every trailer necessitates multiple cuts, apparently the editor cutting the trailer presented a fairly finalized version to the studio weeks ago. Studio wasn't happy and said, make it better. I wouldn't want to be a part of the marketing department over there right now, which was recently gutted. Ooh, boy. Though not confirmed, the trailer is supposedly being sent out to press early next month. If Marcus's info is on the level, could it be delayed? It's possible, but honestly, we'd be very surprised if this was anything to be too concerned about. Superman stars David Cornsweet as Clark Kent, the Man of Steel, Rachel Brosnahan as Lois Lane, Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor, Isabel Marced as Hawkgirl, Nathan Fillion as Green Lantern Guy Gardner, Eddie Gathegi as Mr. Terrific, and Anthony Kerrigan as Metamorpho. All right. Fuck, man, this feels like a bad day for nerd news. That sucks. I don't like, I want to hope that this is much ado about nothing and this is being blown out of proportion and you know, there's probably just a standard thing that's going on. And in some ways it probably is, but at the same time, if we're talking about the MCU has to get their ducks in a row, I don't know a movie that has more riding on its shoulders in recent memory than Superman. The reasoning for that, for those that aren't always paying a lot of attention to everything here, or maybe you haven't seen us talk about it on Capes and Cows, or haven't heard me talk about it, WB is in trouble. Zaslav has made a lot of bad mistakes that has led to the idea of a demerger of Warner Brothers and Discovery potentially, of another merger and potentially them being bought out, all sorts of stuff being canceled and tax written off, and all sorts of nonsense that has been going on for the last couple of years, really from the pandemic on, right? That being said, James Gunn was given the keys to the castle and was given the reins to reboot DC and make their version of the MCU that actually is cohesive and works and is, you know, making people happy watching these movies. All that being said, if the first one out of the gate when DC does not have the trust of the people, the same thing I was just talking about with the MCU, could be disastrous. It could end this universe before it even gets started, similar to how the Dark Universe, that hold with the Mummy and all of the various monsters supposed to pop off with Tom Cruise as the Mummy, and that completely fell apart after that. Warner Brothers cannot afford for this movie to not be successful, which explains why they might have told the editor, no, make it better, do better, motherfucker. Like, I get it. But at the same fucking time, man, these aren't the reports you want to hear. You don't want to always hear, obviously. I mean, better to have good news, but nobody's out here in these streets trying to be like, oh yeah, man, no, I want hella L's before we get to the dub. Like, you know, I want them to tell me that shit was bad so I do it again. I get suspicious about there being no bad news whatsoever and people thinking shit don't stink, but at the same time, you don't want to hear of any crazy hangups. And that is something that I'm a little nervous about here, but again, I say in Gunn we trust. It's very possible that the movie itself, phenomenal in what's going on, but maybe this editor just did not make a very solid trailer. Could just be studio execs getting a little too uppity and scared about stuff as the things we just mentioned. But I don't love hearing it. I'm not gonna be real. I really, really don't. That makes me uneasy. But let me know what you think. Am I getting too riled up about this? Is this about the big nothing burger? Or do you think that something's wrong in the state of Denmark, man? Is this something that we need to be worried about this film and this universe? Lord knows all the Snyder heads are probably like, yeah, fuck that. Ain't nobody but Zack Snyder, bitch. But I truly believe in Gunn, man, so I'm hoping that this is wrong. Let me know what you think in the comments.